I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. Welcome here to Niners Radio 49ers Live post-game show. The 49ers once again a fall to the it's just been, missed opportunities again. Brock Purdy gets hurt. We will break down that game in a few moments. Kyle Shanahan should be having his post-game presser. We got some time here. We're going to open up the phone lines as well. The hotline is area code 41. If you want to talk 49ers football, it's 415. The Lions, by the way, are the first NFL team to go on the road, to go unbeaten or undefeated on the road since in 4 years. Jahmyr Gibbs, 16 touchdowns. That leads the Lions in a big game tonight over at the stadium. Here at see some of the Niner faithful coming here on this next to last night of this final home game of the 2024 season. A nightmare season. Brock Purdy got injured. This is kind of sums up the season. He's thrown 2 more interceptions. He throws 2 more interceptions. Not only he throws 2 more interceptions, he also throws 2 more picks. He also Jake Mooney misses 2 more field goals. He also, missed an extra point. Purdy gets injured, so it just shows you it's been what has been a microcosm of this entire season for the 49ers. Go ahead. For the 49ers in their season, it's been a nightmare season. We're going to get you to Kyle Shanahan in a few moments' time. And this was the Lion fans circled this on the calendar when the schedule came out back in May. Here's Kyle Shanahan in his press conference right now.
Tell me, I doubt it. Probably check on it tomorrow, but not exactly sure.
Is status for next week up in the air?
Yeah.
How do you feel that you guys played today against the, do you guys consider this a game playing for pride, or how do you guys approach it? How do you feel like you guys played?
Try to approach it the same way we approach every game. Try our hardest to win and try to play our best. I thought the guys played real hard. I thought they competed. I thought every chance to beat a real good football team there. Obviously, not everything was perfect. I thought, we weren't able to slow them down enough on defense. It's a real good offense, but still thought we should slow them down a little bit more. Thought the difference in the game, though, was, obviously the type of game it was. They've been in a number of those games this year, but we had to win it in a shootout, and I thought the difference was our two turnovers and getting none. Once that happened, that's why you end up losing by 1 score.
Defense all seemed to be the hot hand that you like to deal tonight, and I would say that it was one of his strongest performances against one of the best teams in the NFL. What did you see out of him, and why do you think he was able to kind of come alive tonight versus other games earlier this season?
He had better stats tonight, so that's how it looks for receivers. But when the ball came his way, he did a good job, made some good catches, had some big plays, and it doesn't always work that way for wideouts, but when it came his way, he did a real good job, beat man coverage well, and caught the ball real well too.
How do you evaluate the night that Purdy had?
It seemed like he had a real good night, except those 2 picks. They were 2 tough ones, but, it seemed like he was playing at a pretty high level.
What did you see on those 2 picks?
Just the ball sailed on him. I sailed on the first one, the one versus man coverage, and I think he thought the free safety was playing deeper than he was, and free safety just read his eyes and teed off on it. It looked like cover 3, but I think he was a Tampa 2 player.
You backed up Moody pretty solidly the last few days. You see this? Do you have to start really evaluating that position?
We already are. We're evaluating all positions. I was just, early in the week I was saying some of the things that he's gone through this year, which, are facts, just him coming back from that injury and everything. And today wasn't a great day by no means. He missing the 51-yard field goal. The 58-yard field goal, that's, just a gotta-have-it situation. And, I'm not going to be too hard on him for that far of a kick, but I know he's capable of making that. And it looked like he got the distance. I think he just missed it. But obviously that extra point, I don't know how the snap and the hold were. We'll look at that when we see the tape, but got to make that extra point.
At this point, how much of it seems like a mental or confidence thing?
I don't know. I don't know about people's mental.
Obviously, a lot of new names on that offensive line. How do you think that position group played today?
I thought they did a good job. Both of our left tackles come in just being on someone else's practice squad last week and being able to come in here and play in this game. I think that's the first time I've ever started a guy who was on someone else's practice squad last week at this time. So they did a real good job of just learning the terminology and stuff. I don't think they made too many mistakes. And I just appreciate them battling and putting themselves out there. And, we scored a lot of points, so obviously they were a part of that.
You put so much emphasis on taking the ball away with the special ball meetings and everything. And I think since the bye week, I think you have 2 takeaways. Is that, I think I asked you this the other day, but how do you account for that view?
Oh, it's extremely tough. It's tough to win when you don't get the ball like that. Didn't seem like we had many opportunities today, which you got to create your own opportunities. This past month, I think we have created a couple and haven't come down with it, but today I didn't see too many opportunities.
Just to clarify, Brian, what was your level of concern that could that be something long-term?
I wouldn't think so. I'm just speculating right now. I know everyone, when they hear about Brock's elbow and stuff, just like me, you think of elbow injury from a couple of years ago, but just talking to doctors, he just got hit in the right spot, and when you get hit there, your nerves go and you can't feel much, but hopefully it'll be all right.
How do you feel about the culture of this team where you had guys flying around and playing, I thought, pretty fast today, even despite the fact this is week 17?
I'd be extremely disappointed if they didn't. I don't get how people can't play that way just because of week 17 or just because of you're not in the playoffs. This is the NFL. You get paid a lot to do it, and if you're the right type of guy, then there should never be a question. And I believe we do have the right type of guys, and our guys play their asses off today. Just didn't play good enough in a lot of areas, and that's all of us. And but I've never questioned our guys' effort or anything like that.
Was there on the 4th and goal touchdown to St. Brown? Was there a miscommunication in coverage there?
It looked like it. Yeah.
We'll speak to Debo and how he's played the last 2 weeks. He kind of set the momentum early on in this one on that first drive, but then to come off a week like he did in Miami, seemingly is also catching a rhythm.
Yeah, Debo's has played 2 good games, and Debo's a real good player. So it's a matter of time before he does.
Sam Laporta caught that 19-yard catch, I believe, on 4th and 3. Was there a miscommunication on that play as well?
Yes, short motion. I think 2 people went with the running back, and they left him alone.
Why was Dobbs the QB2, and could he possibly start if Brock can't play next week?
Possibly, yeah. I'll look into that always. Just once I start thinking about Arizona and stuff tomorrow, with some of our O-line issues and things like that, and how the game could be, I thought it could turn into a scrambling type day, not knowing how it would go, and thought Dobbs was giving us the best chance for that reason. He did a hell of a job coming in there on his drive. Really good.
Yeah, I know this game didn't mean much as far as the rest of the season, but to be able to have that many young guys out there making plays, does it kind of seem as if you have some promise going into the next season?
I think everything's connected, good or bad. I think it can lead to good things the next year. We're going through this, but by no means are we happy with what we're going through, but I fully expect us to get better for going through this. I mean, even if it could have gone worse today, I expect us to learn a lot here going through this stuff, and I expect it to make us a better team next year. And when the season is over, I can't wait to get started figuring out how to do that.
The way Nick Bosa played tonight, what does that mean to you, and what does that mean to this team?
Means he is who we think he is. Football's important to Nick. He's gotten healthier here in the last 10 days and stuff, and it was unfortunate how his health struggled during that stretch, and now he's starting to get better health-wise. He's been, got out of that Miami game pretty clean, had a good week, and wish we were going to the tournament so we could play longer. All right, guys, thanks.
All right, that's Kyle Shanahan just talking with the media over at Levi Stadium. Professor B here at the Hyatt Regency Hotel here in Santa Clara. In case you just missed it on Monday Night Football, the 49ers fall to the Lions 40-34. Jared Goff, 4th straight game. The former Burke with at least 3 touchdowns. He's just been interviewed by Lisa Salters on our monitor here at the here at Hyatt Regency Hotel here in Santa Clara. There's a lot of the Niner fans. This is the final home game. This is our final post-game wrap here this year for all of our home games throughout the entire year here at the Hyatt Regency Hotel here in Santa Clara. As you know, we just concluding we've been here since 2021. We just concluded our 4th year here at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. We spent the previous from 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, the first 6 years, 10 of the first 11 previous years over at Dave's Bar and Grill, Dave's restaurant on the other side from here. And then unfortunately it closed down. Our final podcast there, post-game, was back in the NFC Championship back in 2019, or almost 2020, almost 5 years ago. And then, of course, we didn't have no post-game show live over there in 2020 because of the COVID, all the restrictions. All of our pre- and post-game stuff for the entire 2020 year was due to COVID, was held back at our satellite digital media studios in San Francisco. You want to talk 49ers football? Check us out, youtube.com/@Niners Radio 49. We're on Facebook as well. We are, we want to talk 49ers football. Our hotline right now is 415-988-8571. 415-988-8571 is our hotline if you want to talk 49er football. We'll get you back over to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara in just a few moments, and we'll recap the scores. And the Niners fall to 6-10, matching the same amount of losses that they had 4 years ago when they went 6-10 after a 13-win season. And the Niners have only 6 fewer wins, half of the wins that they had than they had a year before. And, the Niners going to have a lot of question marks to do, though, in this offseason. So you want to talk 49er football right now, our hotline number is 415-888 988-8571. If you want to watch this podcast right now, we're on right now as we're right now at 8:47. We're now at 13 minutes before the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. We're going to be around till about 9:15, 9:30 before we have to pack this thing up and head back to the city. So there's a lot of 49er fans, a lot of Detroit Lion fans coming into the building. Niners falling, and then the Jake Moody thing, you know, when you're coming out the high ankle sprain, that's very tough to get it back on there again. Seeing a lot of Niner fans on my Facebook page. And the 49ers, and Fred Warner is at the podium right now. We'll sit back out to Levi Stadium right now.
I have no idea. It's the most maddening thing on the planet. But hey, I mean, we got one game to figure it out, I guess.
You have a different cast than last year when you played these guys. It just seems like there's so many new parts around you all season long that it just hasn't clicked. Is that fair to say that just hasn't?
I mean, yeah, it's too many just my bads, you know. Everybody just having their one play out there where it's like, dang, like just being on it, and I'm always going to look at myself to see how I can be better to, help bring everybody along. So.
Fourth downs, their aggressiveness going for it there. Just how frustrating is it when they are converting them like they were tonight?
Yeah, no, it's frustrating. I mean, we were prepared for it, most definitely. Obviously, we knew that that's what they wanted to do, and I feel like we had the right looks. And I think they went for it probably 3 times on fourth down, and crucial moments just not being on it, and that's what the game was.
You guys them 11 months ago, crushed their dreams. Did you get a sense that they were, super motivated for this game, even though really, technically, whatever happened didn't matter for them?
No, yeah, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were motivated. I'm sure they had they had all the motivation in the world to come in today and do what they did.
What happened on Gibbs' long touchdown run at the end?
The long touchdown run. We just got to set the edge right there, make them turn back. There's no edge, and then got to find a way to just make them turn back to the defense. And he took the sideline. He was gone.
You guys have entire meetings every week about the ball, taking the ball away, and for I think it's 2 now since the bye. How do you wrap your brain around that?
I don't know. That's something I'm trying to figure out, especially for myself. Like I put a lot of pride on myself to take the ball away for the defense, for the team, and I haven't done it, so I have no room to talk about anybody. You got to look at yourself.
This season has been more like of a character building season that absolutely, galvanize you guys going into the next season. I know this one is not far from over. You got one more game, but you get what I'm saying. Do you think that the way this season has gone will actually bring you guys together a little bit more? Jawan was just saying we get hurt together, we go to work together. Do you think that will be the mentality coming into the next season versus coming over this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to kind of think big picture right now because I'm fully focused on honestly just one game at a time. Even though the season hasn't gone how we wanted it to, and we're out of the playoffs and all that type of stuff. I feel like once we finish next week, that's when I'll have a moment to really reflect on the season.
Ricky was saying even last week, he hadn't had tons of production, but he insisted, he never lost his confidence. He was fine, mentally. And that's do you get that vibe from him that, he's gone through a lot, but just kind of having some quiet performances, he's hasn't been really phased by this?
Yeah, no, Ricky's made of the right stuff. He's always been, just because he hadn't had that big performance. You keep knocking at the door. It's going to come at some point. He had it in the biggest moment tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Fred.
I mean, it doesn't feel the best, but just leave it at that. So we'll see tomorrow.
Can you describe what happened?
On that sack, I got hit on the backside, and yeah, basically just my arm was on fire, kind of thing. And so I tried throwing a couple on the sideline, and I couldn't at that point. So yeah, it has nothing to do with tapping out of a game or anything like that. I love my teammates, and I'll go to the very end for them and this fan base and everybody. So that's what hurts me is like I couldn't finish the game. But again, we'll see tomorrow.
When your arm's on fire, is that similar pain to what you had in Philly?
A little bit, but we did some tests with like UCL stuff, and I'm good in that regard. But we just got to go get imaging on it tomorrow and see the whole thing. So.
Starting with the fourth quarter, it got really pass heavy there. I think the second interception came on the 10th straight pass, which I don't think I've seen before in a close game with this team. Was that something that you saw with Kyle that you guys talked about, like specifically attack, something you saw with Detroit?
Can you say it again? Sorry, 10 passes in a row.
Got really pass heavy in the fourth quarter. There were 10 straight throws. I think 16 straight throws to end the game. Was that something specific that you saw with Detroit's defense, the attack, the fact that you guys went away from the run game?
I think, going into the game, we didn't say anything like that. Like, hey, we're going to throw. Obviously, we go into the game with the mindset of we need to run the ball first, and that opens up everything else. But just the flow of the game, how it was going, I think our guys winning in man coverage, all that kind of stuff helped, and we were in a groove. And so, yeah, at that point in the game, we were just being aggressive and trying to win the game, however it took. And for us, we thought the pass game was going really well. So, and it was. So it just sucks with the 2 turnovers, crucial turnovers, and but yeah, that was our mindset.
What happened on those 2 interceptions, bro?
First one, just got away from me. I left it too high for Ricky. And then the second one, I saw the linebacker suck in, and I thought I was going to have some space for Ricky, and then sure enough, there was a safety there in a disguise coverage, and so he just jumped it. So.
When it comes to your elbow, I know you've been asked, but just to clarify, Coach Shanahan mentioned, head coach Kyle Shanahan mentioned that it was more of a nerve thing and kind of like loose feeling, which puts me in the mind of like hitting your funny bone. Or are you saying being that it was on fire, it was like a sharp pain shooting up and down your arm?
No, it was in the moment. Like I said, it just felt, I don't know, heavy in a sense. So tomorrow we'll have an answer. So I'll leave it at that.
How badly do you want to play? Now, obviously, health is going to dictate, but do you really want to, push to play on something?
100%. If we got a game, regular season game that we have an opportunity to suit up and we're healthy, man, yes. For my guys, for this organization, I want to finish the season with our guys.
Relate to some of the outside noise that players should sit out a game to retain their health going into the next season. That's something you can even comprehend.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's really a thing. I don't know for sure if that's even a thing in the NFL. Obviously, college with going into the draft and stuff, but with we're here, we're in the professional level, and this is as good as it gets. So for me, it's like, why wouldn't I play for my team and try to get some momentum going for the next year with our guys and make a statement to everybody here, and that's going to be here next year that I'm a competitor and I want to be out in the field any chance I get. So that's my mindset.
Ron, this was the easy performance, I thought, to date. What did you see from him in this game, and have you seen that in practice the last couple of weeks where it's coming?
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen that in Ricky since he's been here, the way he runs routes, and he's explosive. And, for all of us, it's like, man, we just need to get him in some really good situations and get him the ball because he's a playmaker. And so tonight to be able to do that for him, man, I'm really, really happy for him. I know that'll be good for us moving forward, just our chemistry. And so more than anything, really happy for him, and he deserves it. And he's going to continue to do that kind of stuff for us.
Ron, anything extra with him? Obviously, he wasn't around for most of August, September into October. Have you, after practices, just to build that chemistry that might have been missing earlier?
Yeah, we have. All throughout the season, we've had a couple of days where we stayed after and make sure we get some routes in. And he's just still so young and like a sponge, when it comes to learning route trees in our offense and stuff. And so for me, it's like he's going to listen. He's willing to be coached. And so we've had multiple days where we stay after, and I sort of explain to him, what I'm thinking on a route, and then he tells me how he's feeling. So I'm really excited, man, to have him and to continue to work with him. So
He's been obviously very, quiet, for most of his rookie season. He was just saying last week his confidence has never waned. He seemed pretty convincing.
I'm sorry, who's this?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ricky.
Ricky. Okay.
Yeah, he said his confidence has never waned. He seemed pretty convincing and saying, I'm fine. Have you noticed that? I mean, just that, it's not like he's had the most productive rookie season, but it hasn't gotten down.
No, I mean, more than anything, dude, like Ricky knows who he is and, his purpose in life. Like you could see it like in the locker room and stuff. Yes, he's a rookie, but he's very mature, and I just love his attitude. After games, he'll text me and just talk about routes and stuff. Like he's hungry, and which I love, and he tells me time and time again, like if I miss something or if he could have done something better, like he'll text me and just be like, dude, I want the best for you and for us moving forward. So like Ricky's on the same page as us, man, and as a quarterback, that's all you could ask for. And so he's had a great attitude all year. Obviously, it's a long year as a rookie, and you go through so much, and that dude has been through more than anybody. So for him to come out tonight and just compete and stay consistent with his routine all year long, then you see it. And he showed it tonight, so really happy for him. Thanks, guys.
Make it seem like you really kind of led the way tonight as far as the intensity. How would you evaluate? I know you got dinged early on. How would you evaluate your game tonight?
Yeah, my goal was just to come out, play as hard as I could. It was a little weird last week for the first time in my career playing a game that doesn't necessarily mean anything in terms of playoff contention, and I kind of had to check myself and this week come in with a mindset of every game matters, and we need to put the best product out there that we can, and that's what I try to do.
Later announced there was a concussion, or they were looking into you for a concussion, but you returned. You did seem shaken up right after. Can you kind of just talk about what happened?
Yeah, Sam just tried to get in on it and caught me. It was more of like a stinger type thing, but the ref wanted me to go to the tent, so I had to go answer some questions.
Was it crown of your helmet?
It was like jammed, yeah, my neck.
Do you feel like your helmet, I know that you've got a sort of a different helmet, helped you in that?
Yeah, maybe. When it hits the top like that, it's not as good, but
Played these guys 11 months ago, kind of crushed their dreams. Do you get the sense they're kind of a different team, and also that this was a very important game for them to win?
I don't think they're that different. I think they've had a ton of injuries on defense, which hurts them, but the mentality of the head coach, you could see it throughout everybody. It's really a cool team. I could just see from afar that it's probably a fun team to play for, and they come out and they play to win every game, and I respect that.
You guys put so much emphasis on the ball meetings and takeaways, and I think you got 2 since the bye week. Is there any accounting for that? I mean, there's so many different things that go into a turnover or a takeaway. How do you wrap your brain around that?
It goes into every level of the defense. When you have your opportunity, I know we had 2 against Stafford. That could have made. I mean, if we get those, it sparks a bunch of other ones. So you just have to make your plays when they're there, and then just be in the right spots. And I don't think we've done a great job of that this year.
Question from the left side most of tonight. Sewell is all pro. Did you want that matchup? What'd you think about that matchup tonight?
He's good. He's a really good player, and I wanted to see where I'm at against him.
Had you ever seen anything like the Jameson Williams touchdown where it's popped back to him, and you seen something better?
I was in the tent, so I had no idea that happened.
There was a play in this game where Mustafa, on kind of a misdirection, sprinted all the way across the field to make the play. Did you see the play? And
I think it was it the one Gibbs cut back? Yeah, I had like a 10-yard cushion, and he ran by me like didn't exist. And I tried to sprint, and I was just like, all right, I don't have this. And and he made the play. So.
You talked about your mindset tonight. What was your mindset against Miami? I mean, you kind of indicated it took us.
I mean, I think we came in with the right mindset as a team. Just myself, it felt a little like dead energy-wise. But yeah, it was a learning, a moment for me to learn and make sure that I come in with the right mindset every single week.
It seems like there's a lot of plays where you guys get TFLs, pass breakups, and it'll be like a couple plays in a row, and then there's an explosive allowed. What can you put your finger on about the inconsistencies?
Yeah, I mean, we did get them to second, third, and longs, and then yeah, they would make a big play, and you definitely want to capitalize when you back them up like that. And we didn't do that tonight, and that's why they scored 40 points. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
1,000 yards is tough. It's hard. You have to play a whole season for it. Besides that, not much else to say about it. Yes, it is definitely.
How concerned are you and teammates about Brock's health and his elbow again?
What did he say?
Gotta go MRI tomorrow.
Not concerned then. I'll be concerned tomorrow if I need to be, but right now, not worried about it. Josh looked good though. That was fun.
How was it to see Ricky go out there and have the game he had as well?
How many yards did he have? 120.
141.
Whoo! That's awesome. Just like watching him practice, it's like every day he went off for like 100+ yards, and just to get that game under his belt, I think will just like raise his confidence a ton. Like, because it's hard to go out there and just get not a lot of catches, not open a lot. Sometimes it's the ball and the game just doesn't go your way, and for him to go out there and do that, and just stack up a bunch of catches, run really efficiently, get downhill, he did all the things that we needed him to do. I think that's just going to raise his confidence a bunch, and just a great step forward in his early young career.
Especially true against this team, just because of all the.
Say it again. Sorry.
Is that especially true against the Lions, just given all the press coverage that they that they play?
Yeah, I mean, they played us in man a ton. And, you know, Ricky was a very reliable receiver tonight for Brock, and that was awesome to see. You know, I love press man coverage. It's one of my favorites. So I had a fun time running routes tonight, and I know Ricky did as well.
I know the expectation as a receiver here is to block. Watching Jawan, what he does on some of those plays, what's it like?
You know, it was really fun. I thought Jawan just brought a completely different energy tonight, and it was violent and angry, and that, you know, that's the Jawan that, you know, we need to be successful. So seeing that tonight was awesome. And he does that, catches the ball, makes, you know, punishes defenders when he gets the ball. That was really fun to see.
Pull him away from the end zone back there.
You know, I just don't need unnecessary penalties sometimes, and like, all I want is Jawan to stay on the football field with us, and nothing else happened. You know, I didn't really see much of it besides Jawan getting pushed, and so I was like, he could respond to that. So I'm just going to do my best to not let him respond to it.
Why is it so important to kind of put your arm around Jake when he's not in his?
You know, I'm a huge fan of Jake. I'm a huge fan of him in the locker room, off the field. He's made some big kicks for us when we needed him. You know, tonight was a really tough night for him, and I feel horrible for him. I know his expectations of himself are higher than that. And, you know, all I said is, hey, man, you got great kicks ahead of you. Just keep going. Just keep believing in yourself. You know, and it's one of those games that's like, all right, this is just, it's going to go one of two ways. You're going to let it define you, or you're going to, you know, say, no, I'm not going to let that define me. I'm going to go back out there. I'm going to make a ton of kicks. So, you know, he's got the leg for it, and we just got to get his confidence in himself.
Conversations, is he mentioning that his injury has had any kind of domino effect to his kicking?
No, not tonight. He didn't say anything to me about that. So, you know, I appreciate him not trying to have an excuse for that. I didn't get a chance to talk to him after the game. You guys kind of beat me to that. So, but I'll definitely have a conversation with him and just, you know, see how he's doing.
George, as one of the captains on the team, is there a certain level of play or something that you want to see from your team this week, next week, to finish out the year?
No, I think over my 8 years here, we've tried to establish a standard of, you know, how we play, run around, hit people, be violent, you know, punch someone in the mouth legally, and, you know, and then execute when we need to execute. And, you know, we did that at times tonight, and then we didn't do it at times tonight. So we have to continually get better because we're not playing at the standard that we need to play at. You know, we had opportunities tonight, but when you have 2 turnovers and they don't have any turnovers and it's a shootout, it's hard to win when they get extra ops.
Does this game mean anything for the future, what this team could be for the future, knowing that you're playing the team that right now, you know, could be the #1 seed in the playoffs this year?
Say it one more time.
Did this game mean anything for the future? Just what you can do in the future, knowing that the team you're facing tonight or face tonight is in line, could be the #1 seed in the NFC?
I mean, yes and no. For the way the season has gone, sure. But, like, I mean, the way that we played the last couple of years, like, those are kind of my expectations is, you know, I go into every game expecting to win. You know, I expected to win tonight regardless of our record and what their record is. They're a great football team. They're a really well-coached football team, took advantage of their opportunities. They won the game. But, like, I went into this game fully expecting to win, fully expecting our offense to go out there and, you know, they're a banged-up defense, and I thought we could take advantage. And obviously, we're banged up too, but, like, I thought we were moving the ball really efficiently, and, you know, turnovers are tough to overcome. But, no, it was and I want to go out there and play good football every single week. That's what I want to do. That's what I want my team to do. And, you know, we struggled with doing that all season. And, you know, that's why we're 6-10. Woof.
George, I was going to ask you, if someone said in September, early September, you guys will be 6-10.
Yep.
You would have said what?
That's what I disagreed with them probably. I mean, that's football. It's the highs and lows of it. You know, football, you have to put in all the work. Ball has to bounce your way. Guys got to stay healthy. You got to get a little bit lucky. And, you know, we haven't really gotten into those things to go our way. And, you know, not playing at a high level, not executing well, leaving guys open on 3rd, 4th down, being downfield on a pass play. Like, there's just a lot of things out there that are, you know, we're hurting ourselves and then just not giving ourselves a chance to win. And, you know, it's not like, I feel like, you know, Coach Shanahan, our coaches, I think they do a fantastic job of coaching us and, like, hey, explaining things, giving us the rules, the things that we have to do. you know, as players, it's the NFL, it's your job. So, like, we need to know how to execute. We need to know what to do. And we just haven't been able to do that a lot this year. And, you know, I don't have an answer. I can't put my finger on it, but it's something to look at. You know, whether you watch the tape or whether this offseason to look at, it's like, hey, we have to go back to being able to do all the little things right before we can try doing the cool big things well. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's all we heard from George Kittle, of course. Fred Warner and Brock Purdy. Purdy did get injured in the game. His elbow, he'll get an MRI tomorrow. Status is uncertain. Niners fall again by a score of 40-34. And with the loss, the Niners fall to 6-10. And for the first time in 4 years at the 49ers, there will be no postseason, of course. In fact, this will be the first postseason or first time since 2018 in a full normal non-pandemic year when the Niners last time did not make the playoffs. The Niners were 5-4 going into this game tonight and now have lost 6 of their last 7 games since their win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers following their bye week. So it's just been the injuries. The injuries has just hurt this team all throughout the year. And, you look at it, as I'm watching right now on ESPN Sports Center postgame, Jared Goff, the former Cal Bears quarterback, and this is what's at stake for the playoffs in the AFC. Broncos, Bengals, Dolphins in the race for the final AFC wildcard spot. The Bengals could clinch a wildcard spot with a win over the Steelers, and both the Broncos and the Dolphins must lose. And this is going to be the game of the day next Sunday night. Vikings-Lions, the winner of this game will win the NFC North and will clinch the best record in the NFC, will home field advantage throughout the... Huh? You want to sit down?
The couch.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. They will clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs with their victory. With the winner of that game gets home field throughout, and they will get a first-round bye. And, this is going to be one of the game of the ages with everything on the and just they will have, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The AFC has already been cemented. The Chiefs is going to have home field throughout the playoffs. The Bills at worst will get 2 seed. The Steelers with a win could clinch the AFC North. Baltimore could clinch it with a win in a Steelers loss. So we're going to take a look at the final. We're now at 17 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock local time. So we're going to take a look. By the way, the last... I think it's just two... And, we're going to take a look at the final stats of the game, and then we're going to get ready to wrap it up for tonight, on Niners Radio 49. In case you're just tuning in, the 49ers fall to the Detroit Lions at Levi Stadium. So the final numbers of the game, Purdy threw for 377 yards, 3 touchdown passes. The Niners end up getting 475 total yards of offense. The Niners did turn over the ball twice. Third down efficiencies, the Niners only converted 5 times. The Niners only converted once. Detroit did it twice. Look at the stats. Purdy threw for 377 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jared Goff threw for 303 yards, 3 touchdown passes. And then Jamar Gibbs, 18 carries for 117 yards. Isaiah Gudano, 34 yards rushing. Ricky Pearsall had a career night. 8 catches, 141 yards, and a touchdown. He's my player of the game for the 49ers in a losing effort. Joshua Dobbs, 3 out of 4, threw for 35 yards. Purdy had a 116 quarterback rating. And then George Kittle had another great night. Probably is definitely no doubt is the team's MVP for this year after this disappointing year. 8 catches for 112 yards. He averaged 14 yards per catch. And then looking at the other stats for the Detroit Lions, Jake Moody was a putrid 0 for 2. He made 4 and then missed 2 field goals and missed an extra point as well. So that kind of summed up the season. And there was no punting in the game either, as Mitch Wisnowski ended up getting the night off. So there in hand, it's just been the injuries that plagued this team all year. You know, Jed York had said before the game, according to Ian Rappaport, that both York and that Kyle and Lynch will be back next year. It's just been a dismal year. You know, I'm on the fence of defending the team. When you have injuries like what they have gone through this year, multiple injuries, multiple players losing a child. Tre'Davious Ward, of course, lost his little daughter, and just did not play tonight because he was there with his wife celebrating with a boy. It's too much to overcome, and you know. Of course, the roster is going to change. The Niners going to have some tough decisions. And, you know, that's the testing. We'll have, you know, a lot of decisions to this off season. And so there you have it right there. The 49ers fall to the Lions 40-34. With the loss, the Niners fall to 6-10. They've now lost 6 of their last 7 games. While the Lions So that's going to be the kickoff time. And then for the 49ers, they'll wrap it all up Sunday. Just before we go to that, tomorrow we'll have a special edition of 49ers Live, a special Monday edition of 49ers Live, the aftermath. We'll recap this game. We'll get you ready for the Niners and Cardinals. It's going to be a daytime version, probably midday or so because of the New Year's Eve festivities. I've got to do on our sister network, recap of 2024 year-end review special on Satellite Digital Media, World According to Professor B on our network affiliate. We're going to have a lot to break down as we get down to the it will be our final podcast for 2024, and then we'll have 49ers Radio 49 Live on location. We'll recap the Niners. We'll recap this game from tonight, and then we'll get you ready for the Niners and Cardinals. Hopefully we're going to try to get David Murphy from Big Sky Sports, who covers the Arizona Cardinals, on our podcast later in the week. We'll break down the Niners and Cardinals. This is battle for the toilet bowl. The loser next Sunday's game will finish in the cellar in the NFC West, and the Niners try to avoid finishing in dead last in the NFC West. Hopefully they can get a win. So we're gonna before we sign off for tonight, we'd like to thank all of you for watching all year long. This is our final post-game show live here at the Hyatt Regency Hotel here in Santa Clara. We'd like to thank all you Niner fans hanging in there throughout the faithful still here despite a disappointing season, nightmare season, with all the injuries and everything, all what's happened with this team. And I'd like to thank you. Thank all the staff from the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Great hospitality, all the Niner faithful. Starting to learn about, the faithful, been there, and you guys had a great time. So we thank for all of you for being there. We'd like to thank we'd also like to thank the 49er Tailgate. Our final show for 49ers Tailgate will be coming up later in the week. So we'll be having our next podcast. We'll do another one, the Aftermath, tomorrow. We'll take Thursday off, and possibly by the way, tomorrow on our 49ers Tailgate show, or our 49ers Live Monday Aftermath, we're going to have a special treat. We're going to recap as we continue to celebrate the 49ers 40th anniversary of their 1984 Super Bowl run. We're going to recap the NFC Divisional Playoff. 49ers taking on the New York Giants from December 29th. It was actually yesterday, the 40th anniversary. Niners taking on the New York Giants in the NFC Divisional Playoff at Candlestick Park. The Niners end up winning that game 21-10 against the New York Giants. We'll recap that. We'll give you all the scores from the Divisional Playoff round. We're also going to recap the games from that Saturday, December 29th, and from today, December 30th, 1984. We recap both games. And then tomorrow on December 31st, the 35th anniversary of the 49ers winning back-to-back Super Bowls. We are going to recap the wild card rounds of that weekend. The Niners will recap that wild card game between the LA Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles. They're playing the wild card game at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. And as well, the Steelers and the Oilers, both the 49ers and Broncos were off that weekend. And the Niners will find out who would they play in the divisional playoff. If the Eagles were to beat the Rams in that game, of course, the Eagles would travel out to the Bay Area to take on the Niners in the NFC divisional playoff on that Saturday. But if the Rams were to knock off the Eagles in Philly, the Niners would host the the Vikings, champions of the NFC Central. They would come out to Candlestick, known as the original Mecca, to take on the 49ers on that Saturday, while the Rams would travel to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Giants in the NFC divisional playoff on that Sunday. And then for the Houston Oilers, for the Oilers and Steelers, they would host the wild card. The Oilers host the wild card at the Astrodome in Houston, taking on a Steeler team, an overachieving team that was outscored and had a minus point differential of minus 30, ranked dead last in every 1989 Astrodome in Houston and they will take on Jerry Glanville, the Oilers. The winner of that game, if the Steelers were the Oilers with that win, they would most likely, the winner of that game would go to Denver for the AFC divisional playoff. The Mile High take on the top-seeded Broncos. And then, of course, the second half of the wild card of the divisional playoff, both the Cleveland Browns, champions of the AFC Central, past 5 years. This time they're coached by Bills, who were able to rally despite their inconsistency, would win their second straight AFC Central Division. They were joining their bye week. They would go to Cleveland to take on the Browns for the AFC divisional playoff on that Saturday. And then on January 2nd, we'll have an off day on January 2nd, or January 1st, New Year's Day. There'll be no podcast that day. We'll recap in the 49ers' 30-year anniversary of their Super Bowl run. We'll take a look back of both the NFC, AFC wildcard rounds on that day from January 31st through January 1st, January 31st, 1984, January 1st, New Year's Day, 1985. The wild card round is the Green Bay Packers hosting the Detroit Lions. Now, if the Packers, it all depends what the Bears and Vikings playoff was. If the Packers were to win, the winner of the Packers-Lions game most likely would head to San Francisco to play the 49ers. However, if the Bears were to upset the Vikings in that wild card on that Sunday, the Vikings would head out to San Francisco to take on, or no, the Bears would head out to play the Niners. While if that happens, then the winner of the Packers-Lions game would head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys in the NFC divisional playoff. And then in the second half, and in the AFC, we'll recap the 94 playoff wild card as the Patriots, who are back in the playoffs for the first time since 1986, they will travel to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. Browns were back in the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. It would be their final playoff game for the original Cleveland Browns. They're coached by Bill Belichick. The winner of that game will take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC divisional playoff, and then the second in the Saturday game, the second half, the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Legends Bowl, Joe Montana versus Dan Marino, the first time they hook up in postseason since Super Bowl 19 when the Niners defeated the Dolphins 38-16 when Joe Montana quarterbacked them to that win. So a lot's going on. We're going to get ready to wrap it up for tonight. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. It's been a difficult year. I'd like to thank the staff at Hyatt Regency Hotel all year long for their hospitality. And for all you United fans, it's been tough all year. So we're getting ready to wrap it up. It's now a little past the bottom of the hour. Professor B here. We'll be back with you tomorrow for 49ers Live, special 49ers Live Aftermath. The Aftermath will recap this game. We'll get you ready for Niners and Cardinals to wrap it up. We'll have our Niners radio flashback as well. And hope you guys join in. Check us out, 49ers, for all the latest 49ers news. Go to 49ers.com. And check us out also, youtube.com/@Niners Radio 49. For now, Professor B signing off, and so long. Thank you for watching 49ers Postgame Live tonight here at the Hyatt Regency Hotel on Niners Radio 49. Check us out at youtube.com/@Niners Radio 49. 49ers Live with yours truly is a presentation of Niners Radio 49 in association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network, where every team has a fan and every fan has a voice. The network home of champions. 49ers football, faithful to the Bay. Have a very pleasant good night, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.